funny group chat therapy. Na, 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 na. Hi, hello, it's Kelly, BL Chef. Welcome to the channel. We do a lot of BL and GL here, and sometimes some music. And I'm joined with my sister Anmi, and my friend Yoshi. And we are here to watch Shine episode 4. Episode 4. Oof.
4.
Wow.
We're like halfway through, aren't we? Isn't it 8?
No, we are. That actually makes me really sad.
Yeah. It feels like this show is flying by.
It is.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it feels like we just started it.
It does.
But it's almost over.
Yeah.
That's weird.
I think because it's so the story's moving so fast. Boom, boom,
Yeah,
boom.
it's very like we are constantly moving forward. We're moving because we've got places to be.
This is why I understand why people are sad about the shorter episodes for GMM, but I'm like, it does. It's like the tight 8. We talked about this with Perfect 10 Liners. When you get an 8 show arc, there's no time to mess around. They, that sometimes it's really good. If there are some shows that I would like to be longer, that the story requires it to be longer, but some shows that tight 8 is nice.
Yeah, Perfect 10 Liners had it. That show was tight, like, which is wild to say for a show that is
24 episodes.
24 episodes, but
they each pair had their tight 8 though.
Yeah, it's really not a 24 episode series. It's 3 8-episode series in a trench coat.
Yep.
Like that's
because
what it is.
I'm telling you, I constantly revisit that show, and I revisit each pair, like their story at different times.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like
when I need to smile, that's where I go.
And it's like any one of those stories, I'm like, I feel like that if we had like more time, it would have dragged. Like there would have.
Yeah.
It was perfect. It was just good. It was good.
And I like that the interaction. We're here talking Perfect 10 Liners, but I like that the story's connected through the characters. So we didn't leave a character behind, but that character didn't dominate the next story. I would love to do. Sorry.
I'm sorry. I was just going to say, when we were talking about the tight 8, it's just like Lovesick, which I love the characters in it, but that's dragging for me, It's dragging for me. Like the connection is a little bit like, I don't know. It's not the same feeling as the Perfect 10 Liners feeling.
Because it doesn't have
it's good though. I don't want to say it's not good because I really enjoy the actors in it and everything, but yeah, the vibe is different for me.
Yeah. I'm 100%. I'm like, I feel like that just Perfect 10 Liners just needs to be a series that they just keep doing. Like,
and bringing
give
more
us
people
with different couples.
Yeah.
Give us a season 2 and like each, like, keep it three pairs.
Yeah.
And then like the first pair of the second season would phase out Arc and Arm. We would no longer they would move on. And then the second pair would phase out Person Santa's characters. I can't remember their names. And then that third pair. And you're just constantly like moving that window.
Right.
Because they've literally set it up perfectly to do that. You can just
the
keep
Boys in Love
that window.
Boys could do that.
Oh God, yes.
That would be so cute if the Boys in Love Boys did it.
The Only Boo.
I haven't finished Only Boo. I'm sorry. You keep telling me how much you love it, but I keep.
You are sitting in a call with like 2 of the biggest Only Boo pushers. Like
I know.
Only Boo is beautiful.
We stand that show hard.
I'm definitely going to finish it.
And they're the first. They're the first in the Mute Love anthologies. Their series is the first one, so that's coming out soon. That's gonna be long.
Soon that's like the next couple days, isn't it?
I think Monday. I forgot. I'm glad I didn't update my calendar because I got to add that too. I believe it's Monday show.
I knew it was soon.
We're doing revamp today.
Yeah, revamp. I saw earlier. I opened up my tablet and it said revamp was out, and I looked at my tablet and it was like revamp is out, Chemjira is out, the new Desire is out, and I'm like, there's so much gay to watch today.
Well, we gotta watch this, but we haven't talked about it at all.
We haven't. We really.
I am curious to see what's going to happen between Lert and Ron now that they hooked up.
Because that ended with a bang.
It did.
It really did.
One thing I did was thinking about when I was doing my recap on my TikTok is with Trin and Tawan. The interesting thing about Tawan for me, out of all the other out of all the other, when it's one thing in your head and another thing out of your mouth,
yes,
that he isn't deeply political. He's just living free. You know what I mean? All of them have these very strong stances, and he looks like a hippie, right? He is quintessentially just like live free, die young. You know what I mean? He's just on the outs with his dad and living the opposite of whatever his father, which I thought, because I was kind of looking at all the archetypes and I was like, he doesn't really have a very, that we've seen yet, a very strong political stance. He is just kind of like,
he's kind of like he's like a rich boy who's cosplaying as a hippie.
Exactly. That's what I was going to say. He has hippie privilege. He does have privilege. We can't erase that. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I want to say that there's a character that's that in Hair.
Yeah.
The musical Hair. Yeah, like hanging with all the hippies who had like a purpose, but this person just wanted to be away from their rich family. They didn't really have. I feel like most of the characters didn't have a rich family, but most of them didn't really have a cause.
It's like, it's like Mark in Rent. Like,
yes.
Which one was Mark?
Out here. He's the camera guy.
Camera guy. Okay.
He's out here like
him going.
He's out here like living amongst these people, but he has like a very privileged life that he could go back to at any time.
Exactly. Like every time I hear rant, I just think of I forget what skit it was where they go rant. Like that. That's
Is it from Saturday Night Live or something?
I think so. They're like,
yeah,
I'm in rant. Last month's rent. They're like, that's it. That's just the show.
I have a very special place in my heart for Rent because I was in high school when it came out, and me and my best friend were those insufferable theater kids who would sit on the bus and sing Rent.
It's not my favorite. Older when it came out. Yeah. I'm a big Rent fan, but I think it's because there was good lesbian. Well, not good lesbian representation. It was my first, but there was lesbian representation.
There were in fact lesbians. I don't know if they were good.
It was my first Broadway show. There's something about the songs. There's something in it that doesn't hit me emotionally in this, even though it's an emotional show, it doesn't hit me in the same. There's something about the songs that some of them I love. Some of them,
I get it.
Some of them are just scream singing, and I think it may depend on who's playing the lead. That also plays a big role in it.
You know what musical was big when I was in high school? Les Mis, and they Les Mis to me.
We don't like Les Mis.
Les Mis.
Everybody's singing it as a freaking audition song.
Jesus. And not everybody can sing Les Mis.
Little high school kids singing those songs. God, Jesus. And you just had to sit in the room with them? You're like, get me out of here, freaking Les Mis. Enough of that crap. I'm so sorry.
I'm just picturing this like little angsty 14-year-old walking in the audition room and it's like, I dreamed a dream of
so many. No, she's so many. And you're like, but it's not, you sounded beautiful. They're like, oh, I dream, oh dream.
Like, child,
And
you
we're
do
just
not
like,
have
oh,
the angst in
God.
you to play this part. I'm gonna need you to go walk outside and experience about 17 years of life.
And
Talk
and
about
come back.
privilege.
we
We
were
went
at-
to school with some privileged
we were
people,
at a
so they really
predominantly
did not
white school, and
with
so,
money.
but they were trying to get in touch with it. What it meant to need. We were just like, we got to go. And then we're singing Hair, or we're singing
Jesus Christ Superstar,
Jesus
yo.
Christ Superstar
Oh,
Hair.
and Into the Woods.
The one with all the black people. Ain't Misbehaving.
Ain't Misbehaving.
I would sing Ain't Misbehaving.
Yeah.
No, Wiz.
My
Wiz
brain also immediately went to the Wiz.
No, there's only a few you can get.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, there aren't many choices.
Two. Because it was before Color Purple, so.
You got the Wiz. You got that. You also got Dreamgirls.
We sang a song from the Dreamgirls, but we didn't really get into it.
You know why we didn't get it? They kept forcing it on us because we were three sisters.
Yes, because we were three sisters, so
and we
went
to a theater school, like after school theater program.
After school thing.
And
we were like, we don't want to do this.
Oh my God, they made us sing Dreamgirls everywhere, all the time. So I don't like it. Yeah.
Porgy and Bess is my go-to too, because
she was in Porgy and Bess and toured South America with the Virginia Opera. Humble brag for my sister.
Which is not a musical opera, but
did I tell you she sang opera? Hey guys, my sister sings opera. Classically trained.
I didn't know she sang opera. I knew she sang. I've watched the video of you playing piano and singing a lot.
Oh, don't pay attention to the piano. We gotta watch.
Yeah, I was like, should we maybe watch?
You know, like there's always supposed to be a cliffhanger at the end of the shows, but this one really like leaves us with something like,
yeah, where you have to process it.
Yeah.
It leaves you to the point where you're like, okay, let me take that in and marinate on that till the next week. Oh, this was such a good episode.
Just like it like going from such a wildly emotional moment to that.
Such a sweet moment.
I will see how I'm gonna be bold, and I'm gonna see how this ends. And anyone who knows me or has followed me knows this is bold. This might go to my number one. And I know it's not like my number one show. It just is crafted for someone who loves not just the story of the show or the acting of the show, but like the craft. It's so well thought out. It's just beautifully and art. It feels like a painting come to life.
I was gonna say the thing you started off with on this episode is how aesthetically beautiful it is.
Yeah.
That was the first note I wrote.
When I think about like when you go to an art museum and you're with a really good docent who can tell you because there's so much story and depth to every painting. So there's just the beauty of the painting first, but then there's everything that led to that beauty. And there's this like rich history. It feels like this encompasses that, where at its face value, it's a pretty painting. Multiple pretty paintings lined up, but each one has this really deep story behind it that's told in poetry.
And it's like it feels like everything is so, every choice, every minute choice, every shot is so deliberately crafted. Like every angle has meaning. It feels like it was just very intentionally crafted.
Yeah.
To make you feel a specific thing or to convey a specific feeling. It really is just gorgeous on every level.
I want to go from like how we talked about last week. We talked about how the week before it opened on Trent's story and how confused and everything he was. And then last week it opened on Tonwa being like, light and airy. And this week it opens on Tanwa. Well, not did it open on him?
No, it was
in the
Lurk.
darkness. It opened on Lurk and them doing their disguise stuff,
right?
Just being cutesy and dating and
no.
Wait,
last week opened on Lurk. This week opened on Tanwa in the darkness.
Mm-hmm.
Well, Tanwa was happy last week too.
He was happy, but remember I was saying that they tell each other stories. It wasn't. It wasn't Tanwan's story last week. It was Tanwan's story this week.
Mm-hmm. You're right. Yeah, it is telling different stories. I just remembered we had a discussion about how the difference in Trin and Tanwa. So I thought it opened on both of them those 2 weeks. But anyway, yeah, it opened. We got a different view of Tanwa this week.
Yes,
and how he's not that smiley. And it's funny how you were discussing how he didn't have any purpose or anything. He's just strolling through life. But the reason for that is so he doesn't dwell on this darkness that he's obviously going through. He has to portray this smiley, light, happy person, which it's so funny because each time, not funny, but each time we go through we look at these characters, I see something in me. Like I remember depression and nobody knew because I was being this light, happy, fun person. I feel like a lot of people who are in pain might not let other people see that.
Yeah,
but he takes it to another level. Like that smile is intense, and you don't really get that this darkness is happening in there.
Well, I think even for him, it's out of necessity. He has to live in this light place, like
so he doesn't fall over the edge.
Yeah.
The Lurk and the Ron disguises are super cute, though.
Yeah, that was very sweet.
Okay, you're right, Ami, because I couldn't remember. It is you're right. I wanted to go back because I was like, is that? But it wasn't that it was light. That's why I got confused. He's in the dark, but blissfully in the dark. He's in love. Like it's this wistful moment of him staring at the handkerchief that he got.
Yeah, I remember we talked very clearly about the confusion for Trin the episode before, but then we got to see what Tanwa was feeling.
Yeah, it was the light that was throwing me off because he's in the dark, but he's happy and blissful. Where this time he's in the dark and he's traumatized and crying. Yeah. So it's the juxtaposition of those two. Okay, I was like, my brain. I had to go back. I was like, I feel like
I was like, I'm just gonna accept this.
No. I was true because it didn't feel right. Like I understood what you were saying, but something about it wasn't connecting, and that's what it was.
Okay. What were you going to say, Yoshi? It sounded like you were about to say something.
I don't remember.
But, and another thing, I mean, we discussed it while we were watching it, but the love triangle where you guys were like telling me that boy was not feeling stuff for him, Victor. And I was like, are you sure? Last week, we know now.
I will say it wasn't just us. A few people thought that the same thing. So, but what I find with him that's so interesting is he knows he's a third party, but good for him. He's like, I'm still. And I really liked at the end when they were fighting over the bag, and he was like, "Well, what are you to him? Like, you clearly have not claimed him, so I am in play here. I have every right."
Yeah, like he tried to Tanwa tried to throw his weight around, like you're just some college student. Like, what are you? And Victor was just like, yeah, what are you?
Yeah.
And
because isn't Tanwa just some college student too?
Yeah, he technically is.
He's like, and whomst are you, sir?
Which I was not expecting. I was not expecting Trin to take so seriously, but I'm glad he did. Where he was like, "What are you?" Because he's never done this, right? And so he's like, because I think this is the first time he's pursued a relationship since that girlfriend too.
And I don't think that Victor has a legitimate chance with Trin. I don't think Trin would cross that line with the student, but I do like that it's forced him to set some boundaries with Tanwa because he might have Tanwa has that spirit that's gonna just pull him in, And so it's making him look, especially this being his first attraction to a guy or first time really understanding that that's what this is. You can lose all sense of, hey, I need to set boundaries or I need to figure out what's actually happening here. So I'm glad that Victor is in play, making him think about those things. Yo, I went back again when we watched that episode to where you guys told me the look changed. And I was like, oh, see, the look today.
We just disagree. It's okay. We saw different things.
No, I'm just saying, I got to stop letting myself just like this now. I'm like, Kelly said it, so it's true. I gotta stick to my guns.
Oh, I see. And you can just think, all you gotta just be is like, I hear what y'all are saying. That's not what I see.
Yeah.
Because that's just it's okay to like just be like,
right.
You guys can be on your side. I'm over here. This is how I interpret it, right?
Yeah.
Go
ahead.
Go
ahead.
No, I don't know.
No, I was looking at my notes, trying to keep it going.
Oh, I was gonna go back to the beginning where we start with Tanwa, and he's literally in the same chair looking out the window as he was before, and how he just like he is in it, like going back to that moment and that time and what happened with his mother, and then how quickly he snaps back into Tanwa, and we see him as just regular Tanwa the whole episode, but how important, I wonder, has he ever talked about that with anyone? That was what I was
like he hasn't. Like Trent asking him, what am I? And making it clear that this is like something that is like hurting him in some way. Like, I need to understand what we are to one another because I'm not going to do this anymore. Basically, that's what made Hanwha be more introspective and actually feel the need to share.
Yeah.
Because I think he's really, go ahead.
He's like, he has this mask so tightly placed on his face of this like happy-go-lucky, carefree person. And when he is being that performative person, he does not think about how his actions are affecting other people. And I think that the biggest example of that was him actively coming into Trent's work.
That was crazy.
Where he's like in the middle of doing something very important. Like, he's in the middle of telling these like high-ranking officials basically like, hey, we should like care about the people that we're governing the
right.
Like that being a revolutionary thought to them.
Yeah.
And then he comes, galumphing in the middle of it, just being himself all over everything, and like he doesn't think how that affects.
And I think the only reason why it didn't affect Trent more negatively is because of whose son Tanwa was. So they tolerated it.
Yeah, they did. Yeah.
Had he been someone else, that would not have worked out the way it did.
The audacity, he just missed him. He was like, you haven't been coming around. So I'm going to disrupt your whole very important life because I need you around me and you haven't been. Okay, this is such a non sequitur, but them doing that seance for.
I was gonna say the last time he was around, he was all over that lady.
Oh, I wasn't even thinking about that. I was just thinking about how absolutely hilarious that scene was.
It was hilarious. It was hilarious.
Because drama can have comedy. I'm sorry, I'm gonna let that go. They can coexist, you guys. That TikTok does.
I mean, they seriously act like the man was gone, like from the earth, not just left the Beatles.
He said John Lennon is alive, right? That was so funny.
When I said Yoko Ono, and then she walked in.
They said we're summoning the spirit of Yoko Ono.
And then was it Khan? I forgot Obe's name. Khan. He was like, "How long have you been here?" And he's like, "Since they summoned her." And then he drops that like, "Hey, that dude is like floating through life. He's not anchored, so be careful." And then he's like, "Mac on the girl, Mac on the girl." Oh, and then the tarot card reader who read the tarot card reader who read the same
thing.
Everybody,
she was so extra. She was more extra than anybody there to me.
I just like the way that scene kind of broke up everything, and we got like a moment of levity in there.
Yeah.
And I also think it's just interesting that they introduced Tanwa's pain at the beginning, but waited till the very last scene to address it. So we kind of like moved through everybody. I thought we were gonna like hang on his story, right? Except for the one moment where there's a line of a song that took him back to his mother, and you just saw him check. Miles is acting his little booty off.
Miles the journey is all I need to see as long as you walk with me. That was the line. And Appa said it, or Trent said it.
Yeah.
And then Hanwha sees his mother in that moment. Yeah, and his face at the very beginning, like we're like like, what do you do with that look? And it was just this brief look, but it was just
he is acting his booty off. I'm very, very impressed with all of everybody, the whole cast. Let's just be real.
I think this show does a really good job of like letting you experience like wildly different emotions. Like you do kind of go all over the place, and it doesn't feel unnatural. It doesn't feel weird. Like we were just talking about this with My Beautiful Count last night. Like
we couldn't connect to that emotion.
Yeah, where we had so much trouble connecting to the emotion of
the character. It's fine.
I can't remember his
name.
The shooty one. When he was like having such visceral, sad connection, reaction, none of us connected to that because we were like, this feels so tonally out of place for what the rest of this show is. Whereas this one, it feels like there are moments when we have big laughs. Like there are genuine big laughs that are had in this show, but they are also moments of like deep sadness and like and you are connected to both of those. You feel both of those, and it doesn't feel out of place.
I was gonna say, was I gonna say something? It's gone. Never mind.
Well, if we want to revisit, I would like to revisit Lurt and Ron and how
that whole storyline we haven't touched on.
Yeah.
The Stalin book at one point took Lurt out of the moment, their lovey moment, and then another time the whole still doing research on him took him out of the moment too. Like they're having this deep connection with one another, but he has to still remember that this world exists where they're on opposite sides.
I kind of want to I don't understand what he's doing that's illegal. I just know it's illegal, and I don't know how to get back to
So I think he is the one who has facilitated the they're saying that the contract was like rigged, basically. They're saying that it was bought like for a price, and that he is the one that facilitated that, basically. So he is like doing something illegal by accepting bribes to help facilitate a contract.
But I also think he thinks he's doing it for good reasons.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like he might have done it the wrong way, but he feels like he's doing the right thing.
They're convinced that him and Trin are convinced that this is going to help power plant is going to help the country financially overall, and so they got to do whatever it takes to get it done. And so Lurt is like, just ram it in there, make it happen. We make it happen. They'll understand, because he's part of this but he is part of this military goal that like, we know what's best for you. So we're just going to do it and use our brute force to make it happen. Where Trin is kind of in the middle where he's like, if we just talk to people, I agree with you. This is for the best, but we need them to understand it's for the best. And then the protesters are like, F all of y'all. You don't get to control us.
That's what I think is so.
Go ahead, Yoshi. Then
that's what I think is so interesting, though, is that it almost feels like they're painting the protesters in the same thing, but the other direction as what the military is. Because the military is basically like, we know what's best for you. We need this power plant. We're going to make it happen, whether you like it or not. Whereas these protesters are like, we don't actually care what you think. We don't want this to happen, and we're going to yell at you until you agree with us.
You could even word it the same way as the military. We know what's best for us, and we're not going to do this. You know what I mean? But I want to take Trin a step further, because you were saying he wants to talk. And I think Trin is in the middle. He doesn't.
Yeah,
he's not
that's
quite
what
sure.
I meant.
Yeah, because you were. Yeah, so yeah,
I hadn't finished, Trin, but it was all good.
I feel like he's learning. I think he's gaining some information from those protesters. Like he's already gained the information he needed to gain from the military folks. And now he's starting to see another side of it. He probably already saw some things on the other side of it, but he's gaining even more and wanting to gain even more by going to the village and all that. He's definitely the moderator in all this.
I think the difference is he thought he knew. That's why I framed it that way. They just don't understand. His intention was like, you just have to talk to people. When he actually went to that village, because I don't know that the protesters changed his mind, but when he went to the village and heard the village people, and then it was more of, and this is I hate telling this story because it feels weird to tell it in this way, but there was a dancer from Brazil that we had this really nice, it was this very interesting dinner where they couldn't catch a flight. They ended up staying over. And I have a friend who's insanely wealthy who let them stay at his house. So he, as a thank you, made dinner. And I got invited to this dinner. It was like 5 of us. So we're in this lavish, ridiculous house, right? This is when that awful president had just been voted in Brazil, the dictator. And we're having this dinner with him, and he's explaining to us how we don't even understand the levels of poverty that are going on in Brazil. And he was explaining a lot of what we saw with the villagers of like, people are just trying to literally survive. And he said he had family members who would work in the houses of the wealthy people, and they'd come home and be like, well, they told us, the way they said, just tell us what to do. It hit such a nerve with me, because he's like, they just let their bosses tell them. They don't have time. So they're like, even if, first of all, they're not worried about voting because it's just not in their day. They're not listening to the news. They're not informed because there's no time. They're just trying to survive. And then they just let their bosses tell them who to vote for. So a huge swath, when you get mad at people for voting against their interests, he was trying to kind of explain how these situations occur from his experience.
So then that's where I thought of The Next Prince when we were watching it, and how the villagers there, when they were having the light ceremony or whatever, how they were like, we just want to do this thing that is comfortable for us, and we don't have time for this protest. We don't have time to be thinking, this dust is killing us, but we need to make money. We need to, that we just have to make a living. So y'all figure it out. It's basically what they were doing at that point. And then go ahead.
When your short term is always living in crisis,
exactly,
you can't think of the long term.
Yep.
But it also made me think of when we were watching Moonlight Chicken and all the issues that people have with Jim, and we were saying Jim is just trying to keep a roof over his head and feed his children and child or nephew, and he can't think of all the politics that have changed in the world and how you should address certain things. He's just like, I'm trying to raise this kid and make sure he gets a better life than me. And so all these other things are not on my radar right now.
A lot of radicalism, left or right, is steeped in privilege. it is very rare that you can be in the depths of poverty and radicalized sometimes. And there's an assumption that you're radicalized, but you're really just like whatever that person said, because I got to keep going. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I got to keep moving. And they said this can help. They seem like they know, they get me. Sure. Let's do that so I can get to the next thing. But because a lot of, I'll say, in leftist spaces, the big critique is that there's no mutual aid built into leftist spaces. And when they're pushing for certain things, the care of people who cannot do that boycott, who can't, who cannot make that sacrifice, isn't it? And someone, I was watching a video the other day, and they were like, people leave out the part like Black Panthers had mutual aid built in to them, what they were doing. They were feeding everyone. They were making sure were getting hospitals set up for everyone. Like they took when the buses, the bus boycott happened, they were getting cars together and driving people. So the expectation wasn't for you to fend for yourself. And I think that was part of, like, when I heard the villagers were like, there's no good answer for us. You don't build it, we still have poverty. You build it, when are we going to get relief? Do we get a say so in where we go? Or are you just going to throw some money at us and say, figure it out? Like, that's why they were just like, whatever. What would you do? What are we supposed to do? It doesn't make our lives better. It might make the country better. Like, you're telling me it's going to make the country better, but it doesn't make my life better. And fighting it doesn't make my life better. I'm still sitting here in poverty. So y'all are just talking at me, and I'm trying to get dinner on the table.
Yeah.
I thought that was a really good scene.
Also, that I wanted to revisit Ron at the table with the family, with the girlfriend's family.
Oof. Yeah.
Oh.
What a hard position he's in, because not just at the table with the family, but the fact that he loves this man that he's pretty sure did do this wrong thing. And he wants to defend him, but at the same time, it's his job to
uncover
him, right?
The way he lied and said there was no proof, and I was like, oh, we're in it deep right now. Because you 100% have proof of what he did.
Yeah, why is he still with that woman?
Because that's the times, right?
Yeah,
it's what you do.
That's what you do.
Yeah, he has to. Yeah, why's Lurt's still married? Like, why are they all doing what?
Lurt, I understand more the position that he's in. Ron's just a reporter. Like, he can't be single.
But it's still no. I don't think so. I think. And I still am not sure we understand his dating history, right? Like, I don't know if this is a thing he does often, right? So, and there's not really a future in what's happening right now. You know what I mean? Like, they are literally, I thought that was really, I thought this was really good. Like, most of what we saw with them was in the dark. And then they got together in that hallway. And the minute they brought it into the light, that's when things started to fall off. And you started like some real, because then they go to his apartment, which is in the light. And all of these things, keep confronting them of the reality of their situation. I also like the juxtaposition of like him discovering that he did that, did the bribes at the same time. We know he helped that book get published. Like, it's this idea of I love this because people get so polarizing in thought. It's one of my biggest pet peeves when I watch these shows. I told y'all, The Eclipse, they were so polarized. Moonlight Chicken, they were so polarized.
So polarized.
Good or bad, this is good and this is bad. You are right and you are wrong. And here's someone who exists in the middle. Like, he is all of these things. Like, the bribe is bad. What he's pushing, he is working for this military group that is inherently, and it's not actually good for everybody. That was a coup. Like all of these things, right? But also, he's a gay man, trying to find love and supporting this document that could overturn what he's a part of. So all of these things can be true.
And then I also wanted to bring up Victor being mixed and how that
oh yeah,
that how they touched on that in the story. Like that was I can't remember exactly what I wanted to say about it. I just know it's I feel like that is an issue for people all over.
Yeah.
You know?
They said he gonna die wrong. I was like, oh my God. That was horrible.
I really like how Victor interacts with Trin, because like it is very clear that he has emotions there, that he has like these feelings for him, but he also is like willing to push back against him. When he starts doing the like, well, you know, sometimes we gotta just trust the government process stuff. I like that he's still willing to be like, yeah, I have these feelings, but that doesn't necessarily mean I'm going to absolutely abandon all of my ideals for those feelings.
I think he's attracted
Right.
to their back and forth.
I think
That's
so
what
too.
excites him.
Mm-hmm.
The beginning when Ted dropped the pencil and they kissed under the table, and he was like, hold up. This whole situation. And then that's when he clicked and he was like, oh, we're doing this now because I'm better for him than you.
All the Tanwa looks at Victor are just like
so funny.
Yeah.
That's kiss.
All
Every
of
time he gives them that little look.
Every interaction those two characters have is just 10 out of 10 no notes. Like
it's interesting. Every other time Tanwa showed up, he would leave with him, except for at the car. Because it was that moment at the car where he was like, what are you doing? What are you actually doing? And then that was the first time he wasn't able to get him to kind of like, Jesus Christ, this Nat. It's a whole apartment. Go find a friend.
Yo, and that line, I think Tanwa said it. I'm not positive, but the line the US could blow us to pieces at any moment. Oh, that was so freaking powerful.
It really was. And there were troops there at that time because the Vietnam War was going on. And so there were US troops stationed. I was wondering if they were going to touch on that. They have not, which is good. We don't need to be in their story. But there are US troops stationed there at that time as well. So they were actively watching the US interfere, in somebody else's business. Oof.
We probably need to end this because you and I still have another.
I know.
to watch, and I have family coming over.
Oh boy, that was great, y'all. I know we didn't touch on everything, but that's the kind of show it is. So good.
Yeah, there's no way. I still have notes, but I really do.
Yeah, no, I get it. All right, you guys, thanks for joining us again. This is if you're on YouTube, this was our review and recap. If you would like to see the whole reaction, you can join us over on Patreon. And we will see you next week. Bye.